And we're live. How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia. And welcome to the State of Origin Game 2 preview. Looking forward to State of Origin, man. 2 nights away from it. It's currently Monday night, 8:19 p.m. Obviously, I'm doing this 2 days before the game, so apologies about that. I would have liked to have gotten this Origin preview out over the weekend, but just didn't get around to it, to be honest. So I thought I'd do it tonight. But yeah, State of Origin 2. It's a big one, obviously. New South Wales and Queensland to do battle down in Melbourne at the MCG. I keep hearing that they're talking about 90,000 going to be there, so it's going to be quite interesting what kind of crowd they get for Origin 2. I've never really been a fan of Origin going to Melbourne, just because it's not a rugby league city. But, you know, I've always been a fan of State of Origin being 2 games Sydney, 1 game Queensland, and at the next season, 2 games Queensland, 1 game Sydney. But they seem to be obsessed with this 1 game in Perth, 1 game in Adelaide, 1 game in Melbourne every couple of years. So yeah. Hope everyone's doing well on this Monday night. Apologies about the camera, guys. We'll try and fix that up. For some reason it's a bit blurry, but it's just my camera, to be honest. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate all of that. And my round 17 tips live stream will be tomorrow night, so make sure you tune into that. I'll obviously put that on my story tomorrow, what time we're going to be going live and whatnot. So round 17 tips tomorrow night. Should be good fun. Hello to the chat. Hello to Luke, Will, Josh, everyone that's watching. Hope everyone's doing good. Let's just go through the teams before we get into the preview. Now, having a look at the odds are actually pretty even at the moment. Queensland are $1.85 and New South Wales are $1.95. So, based off the odds, Queensland are favourites by 10 cents, but I think the closer we get to kick off, the more even it'll probably get. So I won't be surprised if we see $1.90 each by kick-off Wednesday night. But at the moment, Queensland are the favourites, only just. So should be quite interesting there to see how that all goes. But let's go through the team list. So we'll start with New South Wales. We've made a couple of changes from game 1. So fullback is obviously Dylan Edwards. Wingers, you got Zach Lomax, Brian To'o. The centre pairing of Stephen Crichton and Latrell Mitchell. 5'8" is Jerome Luai. Halfback, Mitchell Moses. The front row is Jake Trbojevic, the captain. You got Robson at hooker and Payne Haas in the other front row. The back row is Angus Crichton, Liam Martin, and Cameron Murray will start at lock forward. And the bench is Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Hamoli Olakau'atu, and who was the other one? I was on the fucking bench. I remember the top of my head now. Watson, Leniu, Olakau'atu. Who the hell was that playing on the bench? I know I'm forgetting him. Oh, Isaiah Yeo. That's the bench. So overall, my thoughts on the New South Wales team is it's definitely a more well-balanced team. I think it's got a lot more points in it than it did in game 1. I think Latrell Mitchell is a really big inclusion. I think Mitchell Moses and Dylan Edwards are good inclusions. The only negative is I don't like Olakau'atu off the bench. I think Olakau'atu, we saw in game 1 off the bench, it just didn't work. Olakau'atu for me should start right edge, back row. Maybe bring Liam Martin off the bench. He can come on and play in the middle. That would be best for everybody in my opinion. But overall, much better team than game 1. It's got more points in it. And hopefully Michael Maguire and the Blues get it right this time. Now, as for the Queensland team, fullback Reece Walsh. He hasn't played since the Suoliti knockout, so we'll see how he goes. Walsh at fullback. Wingers, Xavier Coates, Murray Talangi. Centres are the Hammer and Val Holmes. 5'8" is Tom Did, and halfback is Daly Cherry Evans. Front row, Lindsay Collins, Ben Hunt and Ruben Cotter. Back row of Jaden Sewer and Jeremiah Nanai. The lock is Patrick Carrigan. And the bench, Harry Grant, Mo Fodawaker, Felice Kafusi, and who's that one on the bench? Hang on. Kafusi, Grant, Fodawaker. Who was the other one? Who was the other player they had on the bench? Not that it matters because they're going to get pumped, but anyway. So someone in the chat, you can let me know they were playing on the benches for Queensland. I don't remember off the top of my head who the other player on the bench is. I know it's Grant, Fodawaker, Kafusi, somebody else. Is it Christian Welsh? No, it's not Christian Welsh, is it? Who the fuck's the other player on the bench? Don't remember. That's how... Oh, Kurt Capewell. Kurt Capewell. So that's how much I care about Kurt Capewell, with all due respect. So that's Queensland's team. Look, I think Queensland's team is still very good. Not much has really changed. I got pretty much the same starting 13 from game 1. Capewell and Kafusi are obviously on the bench and whatnot, which is... Kafusi's a good pickup. Capewell's been injured most of the season at the Warriors and hasn't really been in great form, but I think Slater's just picked Capewell for the fact that he can cover centre, back row, can probably play in the middle, probably just for that, probably just because of that. So we'll see how that goes. Now, where I think the game will be won and lost, I think obviously game 1, it's one to forget for New South Wales, but one thing New South Wales did do right in game 1 was the effort was there. You could see for 75 minutes it was 13 on 12. It's very hard to defend with 12 men, especially when you're up against a very, very high quality Queensland Maroons team. You could see that New South Wales in game 1, they had the effort and they did try really hard. It's just the longer the game went, the 13 on 12 advantage took its toll on the team and it affected them. Now, I think game 2 is going to be very different. We got a different fullback, Dylan Edwards. He was meant to play game 1, but he obviously got ruled out with an injury, and Tedesco came in, and Tedesco was okay in Origin 1, but Dylan Edwards is having a season that is a few levels above Tedesco. So Dylan Edwards gets his opportunity, and I hope he goes really well. I think he will handle it well. I mean, how can you play 4 grand finals in a row and not be able to handle State of Origin? I know Origin's a different level and different environment, but I think Edwards will do very well at fullback. I do like him in the side. Latrell Mitchell in the centres, I think it could be a game breaker. It could be the difference. I know it's hard to really say that a centre could change the game, but someone like Latrell Mitchell, who is a proven big game player, who loves to win the close games, and he's a really clutch player. Latrell Mitchell is a huge inclusion for New South Wales. Now, obviously, Mitchell Moses comes in as well. I like the addition of Mitchell Moses. You can't really pick anyone else. Nicho Hynes hasn't really been great at clubland, and I know people are going to criticise Nicho Hynes for that misconversion against the Dolphins the other week. Anyone could have missed that kick. It was a tough one from the sideline. It was on his non-preferred side, and he missed the kick. What can you do? It is what it is, man. You got to take him on the chin. Now, Mitchell Moses. Now, I know Mitchell Moses hasn't really... I mean, Parramatta have lost 2 in a row. I think they've won 2 out of 3 since Moses came back. Now, obviously, he had a great game against Cronulla. Sort of didn't really do anything against the Bulldogs where they could have won the game, but Moses sort of went missing. And then, obviously, against the Roosters over the weekend, 2 weekends ago now, he didn't have the greatest game there, but it was okay. I think Mitchell Moses, you bring him in, put him around these quality New South Wales players. Mitchell Moses is going to be a great addition. Now, let's talk about whether Jerome Luai should have been the number 6 or not. Look, You can hate on Jerome Luai for his character all you want, but I think under the circumstances, I think Luai and Moses is the right combination. I know I was talking about Cody Walker because Walker and Moses were together game 3 last year and they killed it together, but Luai hasn't done anything wrong. Luai was pretty good in the first game. I thought, even though we got hammered, I thought Luai was pretty good in the first game, and he's been pretty good at Clubland for the Panthers most of the time. So, I think Jerome Luai coming in, or keeping a spot at 5'8", him and Moses, I think they're going to build a really good combination. So, looking forward to that. The only two negatives that I don't like, guys, for the Blues is obviously having Olakawadu on the bench. I would much prefer him to start. I think Olakawadu on that right edge, him with Mitchell Moses and Stephen Crichton, would just cause havoc, man. Liam Martin better off the bench, just more impact, and Liam Martin can play in the front row as well. Olakawadu in the front row just isn't it. So that's one change I would do. And look, I know Connor Watson's been getting a lot of praise about his selection. I don't see Connor Watson doing a better job than Matt Burton defending in the centres. No way. You can't sit there and tell me, as a rugby league fan, that Connor Watson is a better defender in the outside backs, centre, wing, fullback, than a Matt Burton. Not a chance. Matt Burton is the perfect utility. Connor Watson can only cover, really, hooker, lock, and 5'8". Burton, on the other hand, plays 5'8 at Clubland week in, week out. He has won a grand final in the centres. He can probably cover back row because he's a really big body. He can probably do a job in the back row. And he can probably do a job in the middle as well because of his size. So, look, I wish Connor Watson all the best, and I hope he goes really well, but I just feel like Matt Burton is the best 14 available. It is what it is. Now, as for Queensland, not really too much to go over. They got the exact same starting 13 from game 1. It'll be business as usual for them. Their bench is a little bit different. Cobbo's out with an injury, I believe, so Capewell replaces him. I think Capewell, if he comes on and plays in the centres, he will do a job. But if Kurt Capewell happens to come up against a Latrell Mitchell or a Stephen Crichton, he could be in a bit of trouble there. Now, I guess the other one is obviously Hopgood's out with an injury, so Felice Kafusi goes into the back row. Goes into the bench, I mean. Look, I think Kafusi has been going really well at the Dolphins. And he's been starting front row, and he's been putting on some really good hits and whatnot. So, Kafusi on the bench for Queensland. He's been there and done it. I think he'll do a good job for them. Now, I think for Queensland to win, I think they just got to try and keep the ball away from Latrell Mitchell as best they can. Maybe just rush up on the halves and just pretty much do what they did in game 1, except that they won't be able to have a 13 on top advantage for 75 minutes. That's probably the only thing. But I think for Queensland to win, it'll just be hard work through the middle and try and, contain Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton, Dylan Edwards, try and slow them down, and probably just a lot of kick pressure on Mitchell Moses. And I think for New South Wales to win, I think we have the forward pack to go through Queensland. I think we have the team to go around them. But I think for New South Wales, completions will be very important. Discipline is going to be probably the number one target. Don't give away cheap penalties. We did that a few times in game 1, and Queensland punished us pretty much 85% of the time. So fix the discipline, be very calm, and I think New South Wales need to get up to a really good start, considering it's do or die now. If New South Wales don't win this game, there's a strong possibility that this could be a 3-0 sweep. If we don't win game 2. Game 3 is up at Suncorp Stadium, and if it's already 2-0, I'm terrified for 3-0. I really am. So, New South Wales win this, we got a lot of belief back in the team, and then we can go up there in game 3 and knock them off. But There's a lot of pressure on New South Wales, but pressure on Queensland. Queensland could finish the series right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes on Wednesday night. Now, my predictions for the game. It's tough. Obviously, I'm going to tip New South Wales to win. It's going to be a good game. I don't see any 13 pluses happening. I really don't. Unless a couple of players get bad injuries early and there's like back rowers in the centres and whatever. It's the only way I see it being 13 plus. I think this game is going to go to 1-12. I'm going to say that New South Wales win game 2. They level up the series and we go to Suncorp for a decider. I'm going to go New South Wales by 10 points. I'm going to go with a score prediction of 26 points to 16. First try scorer, I'm going to go Latrell Mitchell at left centre to score the first try. Anytime try scorer, I'm going to go anytime try scorer to be Angus Crichton. I reckon he might score a try at any time. And my man of the match, I know it might be a bit out there, but I'm going to say Latrell Mitchell is the player of the game. I think he's going to have a really big game. Latrell Mitchell for player of the game. So that's New South Wales by 10, 26 to 16. Latrell Mitchell to score the first try. Angus Crichton to score any time. And Latrell Mitchell to be the player of the game. That's my predictions for Origin 2, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. And thank you to the live chat and everyone that tuned in to the live stream. I'll be back tomorrow night for the NRL Round 17 tips. Should be a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And, yeah, see you guys in the next one. Go the Blues.